Thank you. Thank you to the amazing Prosol team. Thank you to Mr. Bebek and Yaniv and the Prosol team for inviting us and allowing us this opportunity to speak to such a crowd. My name is Yaniv, co-founder and CEO of Simpire. Can you guys please load the presentation? So this is a great opportunity to speak about helping you to create a better ecosystem of cybersecurity for Azerbaijan. Let me tell you a little bit about what we do in Simpire. Simpire is a company that is based in Tel Aviv but operates globally. And what we do is we help organizations, we help countries, we help academic institutions make the cyber world a better place, a safer place by developing the human infrastructure. You saw the great team from Prosol. They spoke, they did some technical stuff over here, but they had one laptop on stage and they had a team of experts telling you what they're doing. But what if I told you that we can do this? Every one of you can open their laptop and do this training simulation guided by an instructor on their own laptop just using the Wi-Fi network here in this room. So that's basically what we do. But let's talk about why we need to develop the human infrastructure. So my colleagues before me today and yesterday, they spoke about how cyber resilience is built. It's built on people, technology, and processes. And technology, well, we know we spend a lot of money on technology. Let me just show you some facts and numbers. Well, in 2021, cybersecurity vendors will sell software products and other hardware appliances in about $500 billion. That's how much money people will spend, organizations, governments, and academic institutions, public and private sector. This is how much money they will spend on cybersecurity solutions. And yet, and organizations, they spend anywhere between $250,000 to $1 million a year on technology solutions. And yet, you sat here and you saw sometimes how easy it is to get behind the firewall, to get behind the endpoint protection, and compromise one of the organizational assets. $6 trillion, this is how much cybercrime will cost in 2021. We spend $500 billion on technology, and yet cybercrime will cost $6 trillion in 2021, and this trend is constantly growing. Malware and ransomware attacks since the COVID outbreak has tripled and quadrupled around the world. From 2019 to 2020, more than 3.5 times the amount of malware attacks and almost 4.5 times the amount of ransomware attacks all over the world. So what's the problem? Let's get more people into the business. Let's get more experts like the Prosol team. But that's not that simple. Most of the IT leaders say that in order to fill their open positions, they have to struggle. They can't find the right people, and they can't fill those positions. 287 days. 287 days, think about this number. This is how long it takes. This is from an IBM research. 287 days, this is how long it will take for an organization to detect and contain a cyber attack. And this research was a global research around the world. More than 2,000 organizations were checked. 287 days. This is the average time to detect and contain a cyber attack. $500 billion we spend on technology, and yet 287 days, this is how long it will take in average to detect and contain a cyber attack around the world. So we spoke about technology. People and processes, we heard yesterday, sometimes they go together. But in order to have the right processes in place, implement and enforce the processes, you need the right people. So what's the problem? Let's get more people into the industry. Looking at the global industry, cybersecurity industry, we have about 3 million people globally working in cybersecurity and IT security globally, about 1 million of them in the US and about 2 million in the rest of the world. How many people do you think we need at any given moment in 2021? So the number is another 4 million. We have 3, we need another 4, and we need them right now. They don't exist. We have to find them, we have to train them, we have to recruit them, and then we have to make sure that they're constantly up to speed with the emerging threats, the new technology tools, and the new processes that we want to implement. I said before 287 days it will take you to detect and contain a cyber attack globally on average. How much time do you think it will take you to detect and contain a cyber attack if you have the right trained people in your organization? 287 days on average, 15 days from a research conducted by Cisco, not the same research by IBM, an independent research, 15 days for those organizations that provide high level of training. This is how long it will take. Think about the amount of time difference between 287 days to 15 days to detect and contain. So we have 2 trends. We have people that are missing in the industry, but we also have the organizations, private and public sectors and academic institutions that will need to take those millions of people that are missing in the industry over the next few years, maybe a decade or so, to try and catch up with the ever-growing gap of humans missing in the industry. And those organizations and those people will need the right tools to be able to get them to train, use the right tools to train and get to the right level. Now I want to ask you a question before I get to the solution and what we do at Simpire. How many of you have a driver's license? I do. How many of you have ever ridden a motorcycle or a bicycle? I have. How many of you have studied how to ride a motorcycle or a bicycle or get your driver's license through a PowerPoint presentation or a webinar? Probably no one. And I wouldn't go with you on a car if you had your driver's license just by a PowerPoint presentation. So what's my point? My point is we need the right tools to be able to train the people, get them to the industry, but also keep them continuously trained so they can stay up to speed with the emerging threats and the new technology tools. So what we do, the terminology, is a cyber range, is a cyber training and assessment platform. And what a cyber range does is basically provides you with the right infrastructure, with the right tools to train cybersecurity professionals. Cybersecurity, like any other full contact sport, you have to be able to train with the right tools, the right infrastructure, but in a safe environment, but also get your performance tracked in real time. And then someone needs to tell you if you've done a good job or a bad job. You've seen the team over here. How many of you can give them a score on how well they did? You know, there was an attacker and there was a defense team. How do we know if they did well or they could have done it in less time or more time? So this is what we do. We took a very ambitious list of requirements. I think it's the most ambitious list in the world of what does the perfect cyber training and assessment platform need to have, and this is how we built it. We didn't say it's impossible, we didn't say it's too ambitious, we just took the list and then we sat down and started building it. But don't take my word for it, okay? The NIST and NICE cookbook is basically the National Institution for Standards and Technologies in the US. It's a very respected institution. They set the trends and the standards and the codes for many technology appliances and new emerging technologies around the world. And many countries look at the NIST initiative and they try to set the same standards and apply them in their countries. The NICE is the National Initiative for Cybersecurity Education within the NIST organization. And they basically wrote a very, very long document of what is the perfect cybersecurity training and assessment platform and what are the requirements, or what features does it need to hold in order to be the perfect tool for training for different use cases. So I won't walk you through the entire document. I will just tell you the summary. The summary is that what we built and what the NIST and NICE cookbook say is pretty much the same. So we read the full document, we know what they're saying, but we also sat down and built what they're saying that needs to have in a training and assessment platform. I want to share with you a 2-minute video with Azeri subtitles to help you understand better what we do.
Cywaria, powered by Simpire, is the next-generation cyber range designed to provide comprehensive, hands-on training for your cybersecurity response teams. With Cywaria training, you will be able to face the latest vulnerabilities, exploits, and threats, and improve your organization's cyber resilience. Cywaria is ideally suited for the enterprise world, government entities, and cyber training academic institutions, as a learning platform is uniquely suited for continuous training, assessment, and assistance in making smart hiring decisions. Cywaria is cloud-based, allowing for unlimited accessibility and scalability. Gamified, including 3D immersive environments, enhancing the learning experience and knowledge retention. Customizable to your team structure and the threats your organization faces. Available in multiplayer and single-player mode. And integrated to the most popular cyber defensive tools at the click of a button. With Cywaria, you will be able to choose from over hundreds of hours of professional blue or red content created by Simpire's cybersecurity team. Search, filter, and choose by topics and difficulty level. Benefit from a wide variety of IT and OT scenarios. Or build your own content using Cywaria's Campaign Studio. Replicate your very own network architecture and add the cyber defensive tools you work with in your SOC to gain the most out of your training. Assign team members according to their scores and capabilities. Connect to your trainee screen virtually and assist them during the mission. See each player's geolocation. Gain insight into your team's cyber resilience and readiness by individual and topic. As a trainee, start with an immersive mission brief video. The main screen provides the mission's objectives, intel, notifications, and team chat. Full immersion into the scenarios, including virtual replicas of real-life environments. Your score, badges, and timer are displayed on the dashboard. The leaderboard shows your team's ranking. Message your scenario's master or ask for a hint to stay on track. The debriefing screen and dashboard track performance and readiness over time. Be prepared. Secure your organization. Practice with Simpire.
So just to summarize what we've seen, we have a cyber training and assessment platform. We have a very comprehensive catalog of content. So what you've seen from the Prosol team was amazing, but this is one scenario. But you need more. In order to gain access to more scenarios, all you need to do is basically log into the platform and you already have hundreds of training hours, red and blue content, and also you can train red against blue. It looks like a Netflix kind of a screen, and you can flip through the screen according to the complexity level, to the duration, to the type of content that you need, to the threats that you're working with, to the cyber defensive tools that you are used to work with, and you flip through the catalog and you choose the right scenarios, and then you can start making your training plan. But I said before that we need to keep up with the emerging threats and changing tools, and that is something that is ongoing. And even a country as an expert in cybersecurity as Israel cannot keep up, we cannot keep up with the ever-changing landscape of threats and ever-changing landscape of emerging tools. So if I gave you the platform, someone will say, yeah, but I need it with a little twist, and I'm used to working with different tools, and I'm used to working with a slightly different attack vectors. And someone will say, yeah, but I need to teach students in Azeri language and English. When you ask the questions and you give the hints in English, maybe it's not good enough. So how do I translate to Azeri? So what we did is basically we built into the platform, we built what we call a campaign studio. And just to give you the Netflix analogy, if you log into Netflix and you don't find anything that you would like to watch, you can basically do it on your own. You know, drag and drop, create your own network, translate if you need to a different language, the questions, the answers, the hints, you can translate. Do your own immersive video brief, add your links, your presentations, whatever you need. Also orchestrate the attack. Everything in the studio is already built in. And the amazing thing about it, that the entire infrastructure runs in the cloud. So everything you do with a visual interface, drag and drop and build the attack and integrate the defensive tools, in the background, everything you did visually translates to a very complex orchestration in the cloud. And all you need is a laptop and an internet connection in order to train, but also to build the scenarios. We already have technology alliance partnerships with Checkpoint, Splunk, Elastic, IBM, and we're ever expanding the technology alliance partnerships, adding more and more tools and more technology partnerships. But you need to be able to track performance and assess how your people are doing. It's not enough to give them the opportunity to train. You also need to be able to say how well they're doing. So what we did is we built a very advanced training and assessment module that tracks the performance of the trainees down to the specific topic and mission, and with a very intuitive visual interface, it will allow the managers in the organizations or the instructors in the academy to see how their people are doing. This is how it looks like when the admin logs into the platform. They can flip through the catalog, and then they can choose the right package of content, or they can go and choose by complexity level, duration of the scenario. So here you have a more advanced search options, and you want to be able to get to the right scenario, and then start forming your training plan for your trainees. So if you are a bank, an insurance company, or a cyber academy, and you have 20 people in your SOC team or cybersecurity team, or you have 20 students, you want to be able to tailor the training plan for each and every one of them. The player UI is very gamified, very engaging, cool, fun to play. Looks like a game, but it's serious business. I will not go through the entire UI. I will just tell you that it starts with an immersive video brief. We try to get the trainee to understand the entry point to the scenario, to get them into the look and feel of the scenario. On the left-hand side, we ask the questions, we give the hints. The arsenal is your virtual backpack to everything you need in order to solve the scenario. What you see now is a real Splunk instance, basically allowing the trainee to train and they investigate the attack with a real Splunk machine. You can see the team member. The terminal allows them to add the answers in any type or form, script, command, file, or actual parts of code, and we can compile the code and even check that they did it properly. I spoke already about the assessment tool, and I would just like to put the emphasis on a game-changing feature. We saw the Prosol team, and they had a great attack and defense simulation. They were basically running a very simple network topology. They had the attacker machine, they had a DNS server, they had the Fortinet firewall, and they have the endpoint protection by Palo Alto, and then the compromised machine, right? Am I right in the description of the topology? What if I told you that they can build the same infrastructure in 5 minutes in our platform? They can do the same simulation, 5 minutes, just build the network, integrate the tools, orchestrate the attack, and launch the same scenario. So just to summarize everything, it's a very, very advanced platform. It's innovative. It's accessible anywhere, so all you need is a laptop and an internet connection. We don't install anything. You don't have to pay a lot of money for infrastructure. You don't need big servers. We do everything in AWS environment, in the cloud, and the business model is software as a service. So basically, you buy a license to use, and you can pay for the entire, train for the entire year. We have the true-to-life scenarios, attack vectors scenarios, but also the true-to-life defensive tools. It's customizable, like I showed you. It's accurate, and everything is data-driven, so you can tell down to the specific topic and mission how your people are doing. Like I said, we operate globally, so this is just a selected list of partners and clients. You can see we have technology vendors, we have consultancy firms, global consultancy firms like KPMG. We have academic institutions, the Technion in Israel is just one example, Javeriana in Colombia, and we have many more. And you can see that we also have public and private sectors. So cybersecurity, academic institutions in the public government sector, but also private universities and private enterprises like bank, insurance companies, and so forth. Thank you.